Hi Gemini, this is your forecast for the month of April 2017. This is a general reading for Gemini Sun, Gemini Rising, or Gemini Moon. If you have a different rising or moon sign, you might find watching those videos helpful or more informative for you. You can watch your reading in 3 different ways: the full extended monthly, or for just the energy influence, watch the brief, or if you prefer, watch the weekly for the upcoming week. Weeklies also make it easy for you to review information you may have forgotten in the full reading. Please remember that these are general readings, and so they may not apply to everyone. If you would like a reading that is specific to you, please visit my website at thealchemistastrologer.com. Please also check out my pay-per-view channel, vimeo.com/on-demand/findinglove for monthly love readings. All right, Gemini, this first week you are headed in some new direction. Maybe you're taking a trip, or maybe you're just jumping off into something with a leap of faith. This would be the unknown for you, something that maybe came up spontaneously, something that holds potential and opportunity. This is a new chance, a fresh start at something. You may be making some kind of important decision. There could have been some unexpected circumstance that occurred that requires some type of change. Maybe you're opening your mind to something. Maybe you've entered some new phase of your life, or you're seeking some freedom. For some of you, you're coming up with some surprising solution to something, and you're taking a risk that it's going to work. This is a week of the novel, the new, something again, unknown. This is uncharted territory for you. And maybe you're lacking experience with something, or perhaps you are not quite committed to something. This could also be a week in the negative, where maybe you're being impulsive, even foolish, and using poor judgment. You may be gullible. Maybe you get taken for a ride this week because you're not seeing things clearly. There's some unexpected problems that probably have to do with lack of follow-through, or wasting your energy, or a lack of perspective, or just playing dangerously with fire. So this is a week about having common sense in whatever you do. Maybe, even if you hadn't planned on it, something is going to occur that opens up some new doorways for you. And you have an opportunity to make some advancements, to make some gains, but you should proceed with caution and with practicality. So this is a week where you're going to want to take on more responsibility. You recognize that you are responsible for making you happy, and you want to create your success. So this could be a week where you make a bold move. You step out there. Maybe you decide to get a new job, or maybe you decide to move, or you start a study program, or you decide to get some training, or you start a relationship, or consequently you end some things. Whatever it is, you're making changes, and you feel a renewed sense of confidence about the changes that you're making. And again, you could be traveling, you could be meeting new people. This is a week where you're gonna want to get going. You want to roll out your plan, put it in motion. And this is a great week for you to do that, for you to make connections, for you to meet people, for you to introduce yourself, for you to get reacquainted, particularly with those people who have something to offer for you in the way of advancement. People that are in the know, that hold power, that can open doors for you. Now, on the other end, some of you are just deceiving yourself. You're fooling yourself, and You're still trying to impress the wrong people or save a situation or save a person that's not going anywhere. Or you're being overly optimistic about a situation and not seeing it clearly for what it is. And maybe you're being impatient. You're rushing into something. And probably that's because you want to make some advances so very badly. You want to gain something. And in the process, you're becoming oblivious. You're not listening to your intuition. You're not paying attention to what other people need. You're not thinking about their feelings. But in the positive, this is a week of action. It's time for you to do something. You're starting something. And this may be the best time to do it. For others of you, you're coming to realize that it's time for you to take that initiative. Now, the second week, you have a major card. So both of these weeks, the past 2 weeks are very important. They're major cards. And so maybe you're dealing with important male figures this week. Or this has strong ties to Gemini. Maybe this is you. You're taking something that you have envisioned in your mind and you're bringing it into form. You're bringing it into the physical plane, and you have all of the elements at your disposal to make that happen. Some of you, maybe you're doing something creative. Maybe you're an artist. Maybe you're a writer. Maybe you're a poet. Maybe you're an agent. Maybe you're a scientist, or you work in technology, or you're a medical person. Or maybe you're coming in contact with people like this. This could be a week where maybe you're trying to get some kind of special knowledge, skill, craft. You're trying to achieve a goal and you're focusing your energy, your will to make it happen. This is a week of strong determination and confidence where you can make decisions, quick decisions that are well-founded. So you could be gaining some new skills this week, or your creative power is intense. Maybe you're solving some problems, and maybe this is happening by trial and error, because last week, remember, there's some inexperience to whatever is happening. This is something new, and so you're trying to hit the mark, and maybe you have to play around with things, tweak things in order to get to the right place. But this is your forte, Gemini, this ability to adapt, to change, to reinvent yourself if need be. So this is a week where you're very strongly reliant on self. You are pulling the strings behind events. So this is a week where you can help you. And how you apply that will is either going to bring you some reward or it's going to undermine your progress. But you're fearless this week. You're taking it on. And because of it, people are taking notice of you. So this could be a week where you get some recognition. You get some reward for all of that effort that you're putting in, or for the services that you're putting out there. And you will find this week that the more you rely on yourself, the less you're expecting of others, the more you take charge, take the initiative of a situation, the more success you have. Now, it's easy to think with all these things happening that, this is just magic. It's going to poof and disappear. And so that may be a fear for you this week. How you can undermine yourself, though, is being impatient, being frustrated, being manipulative. For some of you, this could be a week where maybe your creativity is blocked. Maybe you're having trouble making a decision. And again, in reference to the Fool card, maybe you're not seeing things for what they really are. For some of you, there's some frustration. There's a reluctance to take a risk or a chance. Or you have some unrealistic goals. You're making some mistakes this week. Some of you, maybe there's some things going on with your computer, some kind of technology, some kind of setback, a failure, something along those lines. Some of you, maybe you're abusing your talents, or you're avoiding problems. Maybe you're dealing with somebody, or you're being manipulative. Maybe someone's being selfish. Maybe someone's acting like they know more than they really do. So this could be a week where you're so intently focused on you, your goals, your interests, that you totally disregard what other people feel, think, their advice, or even seeking assistance. So while self-reliance is important, selfishness should be avoided. So this could be a week where things swing to either end of the spectrum. Either there can be some excessive arrogance, or perhaps a lack of confidence, a weakness. So this is a week to, hit that mark and use your resources, your skills, your talents, your intellect, and bring it together to create the magic that you're seeking. This is about trying to have harmony, working, the ability possibly to work with others while relying on self. So things could be falling into place for you this week. Maybe this is the end of some type of struggle. You finally made a decision. But for others of you, there's some negative influences occurring this week that you are having to deal with. And there's a need to try to find some peace in a situation. Now, the third week, you have the Hermit. This is another major card. So this is a week where you can tie up some loose ends. You're encouraged to. There's some things that you've been putting off, some things that you haven't wanted to deal with, that you didn't want to face. Maybe that is the decision that you were having trouble making. But this is a week where you're going to have to deal with things. This is a karmic card with a strong karmic influence, where the upside is that you get to have the luxury of having some spiritual protection this week. So you are protected while you're working through some things in order to gain some awareness about you, and some understanding of other people. So this could be a week where you spend more time alone, more time behind the scenes. Now, for some of you, especially if you're a creative person or an inventive person, or you're working on a project, this could be a week where you actually need to isolate yourself in order to accomplish your goals. Maybe you're studying, again, maybe doing some research or something behind the scenes where it's necessary for quiet and solitude. But for others of you, you're doing some thinking. You're getting in touch with your psyche and listening to some inner guidance. You're trying to find some answers. And this is going to be a week where you may withdraw from society. You may keep to yourself. You'll have to practice patience and prudence. And you're doing some reflection. Now, you're examining yourself. You're doing a reassessment. Some of you are dealing with health issues. Others of you are coming to terms with age and where you are and how much you've accomplished or not. Maybe this is a mental health week, where you just need to take a time out for self. Now, some of you are seeking some advice. You want to get in contact with somebody, maybe somebody who counsels, or somebody who just has knowledge, wisdom that they can offer. Or maybe you are doing that for someone else. The downside is that this could be some excessive isolation that eventually leads to loneliness, feeling rejected, or being totally absorbed, being afraid to be intimate and close to someone else. Or maybe you're not even listening to good advice that's given to you. There's a lack of communication. Could be that you're trying to escape some of you, maybe you don't want to grow up. You don't want to accept responsibility, or maybe you're playing a victim role. Or maybe you're even working against yourself. You're being your own worst enemy. But again, this is a week for you to get in touch with you. And you're going to get some answers. You're going to gain some awareness. Whatever you believe, that's going to be challenged this week, particularly if you're dealing with some stress or some type of crisis. This is a week about listening, not talking, listening, because the more you listen, the more you're going to learn. You're going to learn about you, and you're going to learn especially about the people around you. Are they speaking the truth? And how do you know it's the truth? Does it match up with what they're actually living? So actions, of course, speak louder than words. This is a week for you to have common sense, particularly if you were in no man's land at the beginning of the month. You will need to rely on self. The more you understand that you need to make decisions that are best for you and not rely on other people to keep their word, you're going to be able to navigate in ways that are best for you and help you achieve what you're hoping to accomplish. So this is a week for you to be somewhat detached. Let the emotional go. Let the ego go. This is about being philosophical, taking an intellectual outlook in order to make your plans. The clearer you can see the truth of you, as well as other people and situations for what they really are, this is going to help you realign your goals. This could be a week where you may have limited dealing with people. You're talking, you're communicating, but it's from a distance. You're not letting others in. And maybe you're waiting for a situation, that maybe there's a strategy behind it. Maybe you're biding your time with something. For others of you, there's a strong focus in a particular area of your life, and you're giving it all of your attention. But while that's happening, there's something brewing somewhere else. Something is falling through the cracks because you're so intently focused on one particular arena, and it's causing you to lose touch with something else. Maybe, you're so focused on work and what's happening there that you don't realize that there's some domestic issues going on that you need to attend to. Or maybe you're so caught up in some family issues that you're neglecting some issues on the job that you need to focus on. This could be a week where, oddly enough, you provoke some type of confrontation with another person. The point of which is to make that leap of understanding, to gain that awareness of yourself and the other person. Consequently, even though you feel the need to trigger something, you're likely not going to win that battle. You're going to walk away probably with a sense of defeat. And maybe it gives you pause to think, and that's the key. It is provocative in some way. And it has you making a reassessment about something, about your belief system, about who you are, about who that other person is. So you're going to find out that maybe you weren't as smart as you thought you were. So this is a week about something coming to light, some kind of knowledge, some kind of information. Something that you can glean spiritual awareness from. This could be a week where you actually reap the fruit of your efforts, whatever those efforts are. Maybe you end up having a sense of gratitude given a situation, or you realize that there's a mentality that you've been carrying of scarcity, of lack, of poverty, and not necessarily in financial terms. Now, the last week you have the Page of Wands. So this is fire energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female. This is a week where you're probably coming out of your slumber. If you were withdrawn, this is a week where now you've gotten the information, you've looked over something, you've come up with an assessment, and you're going to take some action. And things could be happening in a way where you need to make a quick decision. This could be a week where you get some exciting news, or you're trying to promote a sense of optimism about something. You're motivating people, or you're being motivated. There's a restless quality to this week. Maybe you meet someone new, or you're learning something new, or you're doing something experimental. Now, maybe you're dealing with young people. In the negative, this is somebody who maybe breaks your heart. Maybe last week something came to light, some information, or maybe you began to see something clearly and you feel a little bit broken by that. Or this could be a week where you're coming in contact with somebody who doesn't think highly of you. They're saying some things that aren't kind. This could be a week where issues about being insensitive or dominating or unreliable, or somebody that can't be trusted, somebody who is conflicted in some way. On the positive though, this is a week for you to take some action. You could make some small changes, and those small changes are going to lead to big differences for the better in your relationships, in your attitude, in your environment. And this could very well be a week where you get some kind of invitation. Maybe you take a trip, or you go to a party, or you attend a function, and you realize that, hey, you still got it going on. People are still enchanted with you and your skills, the way you engage with others. But for others of you, something has come to light. You are brokenhearted. You're disappointed. You're let down. And something is going on in your connection with another person that you can't quite pinpoint. Things have changed. Maybe you don't exactly know how, but the feeling has changed. And you don't know what it is, but it's making you uncomfortable, and you don't know how to explain it. And so this could be a week where you're grappling with that. Now, for some of you, this is about taking action to gain some success and basking in the glow of that success, getting some recognition. But for others of you, this is going to be a realization where you're going to stop struggling. You finally have accepted a situation for exactly what it is. Now, the underlying energy is the Five of Pentacles. So this could be a difficult period for you, a difficult month. Now, for some of you, it's going to come down to perhaps some legal settlements, or you're looking at your resources. Maybe you're under some kind of financial strain. Some of you are dealing with ill health. But this could be a period just of, having worries, setbacks, feeling some loneliness or despair about something. Maybe you feel rejected or abandoned or left out in the cold. This is about, trying to operate on faith. For some of you, maybe this will make a turn for the better, depending on whether you used that energy constructively, whether you got past your frustration, you overcame the adversity. Whatever it is, there are going to be a couple of things this month that are not going to go your way, or they're not going to play out the way you want them to. There's something about the emotional and the material that's tied together this month. And so situations are complicated. They're difficult and they take time and patience to deal with. And maybe it affects your judgment. It affects your health in some way. So the more that you worry, the more, you allow something to get to you, it's going to trigger some situations for you with your health. Or you're going to be so absorbed in something that you end up, making a mistake or even having an accident. For some of you, though, the Hermit card is going to help you gain some understanding. You're going to learn a valuable lesson, and in the end, you're going to realize that you're not as behind as you thought. You're not losing as much money as you thought. You're not losing as much time as you thought. Whatever the case is, this is a month to take care of you. Look after you. This is going to be a challenging month where you will feel as if everybody wants something from you. There's a great demand upon your time, your energy, your resources, your affections, especially by the people that are closest to you. This is always a warning card, to be on guard, to be careful about your finances, be careful about your health, be careful about putting yourself in negative situations that could result in some really bad consequences. This is not the period for you to borrow money or loan money, because that's just risky for you right now. And also, if you're involved in something, it's bound to have setbacks, delays, and so everything is going to be more challenging. If this is a medical situation, just even figuring out what it is, getting to the root of it in order to treat it, is going to be a big challenge. This could be a month where you, again, that idea of looking in one area and ignoring something else, you may end up, if you're having problems professionally, you may end up blaming your personal life for that. Or if you're having problems in your personal life, you may blame work for that. So this is a month about getting clear. There's a lack of faith, a lack of spiritual connectedness. And maybe that centers around trust in some way, and whether you're getting the support you need from other people, and also how greatly you believe in yourself. You may be coming to terms with ways that you are vulnerable, whether that's age or health or skill, ability, talent, whatever that is. And this is going to be a month where you focus on, again, whether you feel safe, whether you feel protected, and whether you feel as if you're getting support. Now, the month ends on a court card, so there may be a person that is important to how circumstances play out. You are going to need to make some choices and work to overcome some uncertainty in your judgment and your dedication. And your judgment and dedication will be tested, as well as the trust you have in yourself and the trust you have in other people. So you will be faced with opportunities and situations that have either changed, or they have the potential to change your life and your future and the things that you care about and the people that you're connected to. You're also going to be dealing with some measure of unpredictability this month. And your emotions and your intellect may be working at cross purposes. Some conditions are unsettling, and unless you're the one pulling the strings, they're unsettling. Something about your ambition and changes in your plans are important. This is going to be an especially emotional or spiritual month for you because you have so many major cards. And there could be a lack of emotion in certain situations, a coldness, or the overuse of logic. There's a real danger of some kind of dissension taking place, or you thinking something and getting carried away with that thought. And there's an attempt to get a grasp on reality, but there could be just a lot mentally, a lot in your own mind, a distraction that keeps you from recognizing the reality of something. Now, some of you are dealing with situations where somebody is maybe being bullied or pressured into making some decisions that they don't really want to make. Somebody may be insensitive. They're not considering how other people are feeling or the effect. And somebody may be trying to hold their ground the best way that they can, hold on to their beliefs, their belief system, although it's going to be a high price tag to do so. Now, some of you, hopefully you're not with a partner who is manipulative or abusive in some way. But some of you, you're trying to achieve something, you're trying to reach a goal, a mark, and once you get to that finish line, after you cross over, you're going to feel like, and this is what I got for it. So this is a month of, again, gaining some understanding, some awareness about your abilities, about who you are, and about who the people are that you are connected with. All right, Gemini, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Let me know with your comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Have a great month, and I look forward to speaking with you next month.